And we're back for the next cycle, race 6. So we start with heat E, and conditions have eased a fraction. There's still a big chop. It's probably about 2.5 to 3 meters long, the wavelengths, and they're about 1 to 1.5 foot high. So we're coming up to the E start. Can't work out which end the fleet's decided to start at. It could be the windward end, but I think we'll see some track down to the leeward end. Yeah, it looks as though they've got headed, so they really want to be right at this end. 69's trying a port tack start, and he's just not quite made it. 8-7 is probably in the best position. 6-9's going to get, if he clears 15, yeah, he's all right. So he's in a good spot. So the 3 boats, the green boat, the pink boat and the grey boat, look in a really nice position. The boats that tacked early, if the wind heads and builds out in the reservoir, they'll be in good order. So one's just tacked, the green boat's tacked across, and he's could be our leader. There is a yellow boat further out in the middle of the reservoir, on just tacked on to starboard, and we have a late arrival from Croatia. So I think he is, there's only one place he's going to finish. So nice gust of wind for the boats on the right hand side, sailing in lots of pressure. So I'm not giving numbers, but there's a yellow boat just passing Windsor Castle now, and it looks like he's the leader, or maybe the boat just to weather of him is in the lead. Difficult to tell from this angle. Here comes the next squirt of pressure, and the yellow boat's just got it now. Hopefully that's in camera. Really blowing up that end of the course now, and it's headed a little bit for the starboard tackers, so the port tackers may get over. Yeah, it's the green boat on port. The yellow boat needs to tack. There he goes. Now the green boat is who's leading, is not quite laying the mark, so he's going to be challenged putting in 2 tacks, which is really going to hurt. There he goes. So first boat round is okay, it's Spain 87 is Torsten Fidelbrandt from Germany. Sorry, I misread that. Let's have a look. Yeah, Germany. Second is 69, which is Stan Wallace from the USA. And then the green boat with the big stripes, it's got to be a USA boat, 54, that's Gary Winton. And they're screaming down, look at that. Fantastic surfing. 22 is Martin Roberts. So there are top 3, 4, 5. 5 is the white boat, number 90. I'll tell you his number in a minute. 97. 97 is Feliciano Ballastin from Spain. Okay, so the leaders taken the right gate. We've got 2 on the left gate, so we've got 4, 5 on the right gate, 4 on the left gate. Oh, and the leader's just been taken out. Interesting, he was on port. I don't know what the judges are going to do about that. Nobody's done a turn. You wonder if the umpires are going to make any decisions on that. But there we go. Yep, they completely missed that. Never mind. Okay, so again, 87. Torsten is doing nicely. Mind you, 69. Stan Wallace has just taken the lead. 87 had to do a turn. That's knocked him back a bit, but I think he'll still be in the promotion points. Martin Roberts is up there, but he's got some work to do to hold that position. 69 is flying, which is good. He's our leader, and we've got 34 sneaking up the inside, and he is Jimmy Teo. Now the question is, he's going to need a good header to get him across any of the starboard boats. So I think this is the halfway up the second lap. So boats middle right seem to have an advantage. Got a little bit of rain falling out of the sky, still blowing, probably blowing about 18 miles per hour, maybe 19 miles per hour. Really exciting sailing, very quick, lots going on, lots of manoeuvring, and the fleet well spread. So the winners, the leaders are nearly at the windward mark, and the tail enders are barely up to the finishing line. So good solid breeze at the windward mark and more coming down. Right, so first round this time is 54, which was, remind myself, Gary Winton. Then out to windward of him is 69, which was Stan Wallace. So America 1 and 3, I think it is. Them. Whoops. Him. Oh. Right, sorry, we're having a bit of a crisis here. The wind is blowing things everywhere. So 69, Stan Wallace, yeah, and in the middle 24 is Jean-Pascal Morel. So he's come up out of nowhere, and then those are the top 3, so they look fairly secure. Then there's 97, 97, got 87, thank you. Yeah, 87 is Torsten Fiddlebank. Martin Roberts is in there. 49, Gerard Roguevaux, he's come up. So who's going to win out of this lot? Oh, 54 struggling to tack on the shore, but he's safely around and underway again. He's got a running boat coming towards him, but he clears that. So will it pay to go offshore or inshore? That's the big question. So again, the top three are safe and secure, I think, provided they can tack, but they're well ahead. So doesn't really matter who wins, they just want to be in the top six. But there's going to be a real fight for the 5th and 6th position. We're probably not going to see who it is because of the angle of the finishing line. Being a Brit, I hope Martin Roberts can squeeze in. We'll see what happens as they go up. I think he's probably 5th, close to 6th. It depends on whether the port boats cross him. He's going nicely at the moment, so they're all sailing up on starboard tack. There's a nice lift on starboard. Martin's going to be over. Oh no, he's behind one. Oh, thanks, just stick it down there. Oh yeah. Oh, great, thank you. Coffee has been provided very kindly by Fred Rocher, who's done a runner for me down to the canteen, which is brilliant. So get a rough idea. Our top three are still the same. The leader's just finished. Now the next 1, 2, 3. Yeah, hard to tell, but it looks like Martin Roberts will get promoted, which is a good thing. The other numbers I'm struggling to see. We'll report on the promoted boats just before the start of the next heat. So that's it for now. We'll just let the camera roll while the others finish, and then we'll be back. Oh, just out of interest, the leaders are sailing home, and the last boats just got away from the leeward mark. So we'll be a while before the next heat. Brilliant. My hat blew off.
Oh no!
The pen. D now.
It's going to be a while till the next one.
Well, they haven't started launching yet because these guys haven't finished yet. So it'll be, when I say a while, it'll be a couple of minutes. So stand by. I'll be at the heat board. Okay, so we are back, race 6, heat C, and the wind is still coming well left of the track up the windward end, so I think we're going to be slightly biased to port, but they have moved the start line, so it's a much better start line now. Martin Roberts lining up to have a go at the port end of the line. Just get my cheat sheet up.
40.
So 193 was Remco Sol. He looks as though he wants the port end of the line. Paolo Capper is just lining up to windward. 112 is Ulf Limburg. So there's a gaggle of boats here. I think this is going to be a general recall. Dave Lindsay's trapped over the line, 23. 193's had to bail out. 40 is nudging Martin Roberts.
3, 2, 1.
So clear start. So, oh, nice collision there. So this is going to be interesting coming off the wall. So boats tacking off the pontoon now and heading out on port, and if they get a nice lift, the boats on the inside are going to be sitting pretty. But there's another band of breeze coming down. We'll see whether it heads them or not. Looks like it's a bit of a header as they go into it, which you would expect going into a puff, and then it may lift them as they come out. Big red buoy in the way of Paolo Capper. Slowed down a bit on the red mark there. How are we doing? So my money's on the boats on the left to the windward of the centre of the fleet. There's a nice patch of wind now for the right-hand boats, and they're coming in under pressure, so they may get across. Port boats are now getting a huge left lift, so they're going to be looking pretty. It really is swings and roundabouts here, or snakes and ladders I think is the best term. If you get on a ladder, you go shooting up the fleet, but alternatively you hit a snake, you can go backwards as quickly. So I'll get the binoculars. Fleet are getting near the windward mark, and we'll find out who's come out best. So here we go. Round the mark is 40 from Croatia and 105. So 40 is Tonko Puljic and 105 is David Ramos. So those two are well clear, first and second. Then there's a whole gaggle of boats. 106, 113 and 23. 106 is Alex Scapins. 103, 23 is Dave Lindsay. Did I say 103? Well, let's see them as they come by. So if you follow the lead boats for the moment down to the leeward mark, we can watch them go round. So we've got a Britpop in the lead, we've got a Viz in second, we've got not sure what that is, it could be a Vickers, we've got a Venti, blue Venti, We've got what looks like another Britpop behind the black boat, then a Venti, then a K2, looks like another K, oh no, 23, that's a V12. So the fleet's coming down at some pace. Split of opinion between the left and the right side of the course. How is it? Really dangerous if you tack through the fleet. So Alex Scapens on the left hand side is doing very nicely. He came around the right hand mark, and he's got a very good lift at the moment. So has 130 Paolo Cappa from Italy, and I think these are the boats that are looking really good. Just depends on whether the wind heads them as they go further out into the reservoir. 144 from Croatia is also looking very nice. That's Vedran Vazonovic. So the boat's out in the middle. Will they have a nice header to tack across? Alex is still lifting beautifully inside. Pointing up.
Walk with me, but keep an eye on the other side and call anything you see.
Yeah, I think Alex Scapens is going to end up leading this race, and Paolo Cappa is going to look very nice too. They judge that very nicely. There's no point them tacking because they're on a high port tack lift. Alex is just going further and further to windward, as is Paolo Cappa, so they're going to be very happy. So the boat's out in the reservoir now, is starting to tack in, and this will be interesting to see how they cross. I think Alex is going to cross easily because he's just getting higher and higher and higher. Not unusual at Datchet when the wind's in this direction to have big left hand shifts. You just have to watch them like a hawk. I guess the moral of this is don't go too far one-sided or the other. So while we're waiting for them to get to the windward mark, we can talk a little bit about how we're doing the video. We did consider live streaming, but that proved to be prohibitively expensive, plus the fact we would need a mixing desk out in a very exposed platform, and if we get the rain like we have today, we could destroy the equipment fairly quickly. So what we're doing is we have two cameras. We have a microphone connected to one of the cameras, and what we do is we take the SD cards from each of those after each heat, and we have someone editing the video linking together the two camera shots, and then we upload it to YouTube, and that process, just the upload, can take over an hour because of the video processing that YouTube does. So first around the mark was Alex, as expected. Second is 40, I think that's Tonko. So he's going to get his second promotion on the trot. We then have Josh King, 113 from Italy, which is 113 Elio Cavallo, and there should be Paolo Cappa around there. Yeah, Paolo Cappa's just behind him. Josh King out to the left, 126, and then 105 from the USA is David Ramos. So here they come right underneath us. We'll follow the leaders down. You can see the wind's eased a bit, so it's quite tricky to catch the waves when you're surfing, but if you can get one and fly forward, it makes a big difference. What these guys don't seem to do is to just do a single pump on the sail, which can really help you catch a wave. So if anyone's watching this, just remember that tip, because we exploit it ruthlessly when we're club racing. You can't do more than a pump, otherwise you'll be accused of pumping. So it's Alex Scapens round first, Tonko round second, Josh King rounding third, rather generous rounding, Josh. Paolo Cappa round fourth, and then Elio Cavallio round fifth, Dave Lindsay tacking round, fighting for a promotion position. Now if I was Dave, I think I'd tack in. Yeah, sensibly he's tacked in, because he's at risk of being the victim of a big left hand shift. So he's got, there's 1, 2, 3, unless he catches one of these blue boats, he's just out of contention. So Dave Lindsay's in the green boat number 23, and he's just got ahead of 105, so he's got the potential to get a promotion place. So it's really all between these three boats at the back for the 5th and 6th position. Dave's coming in hoping for the left hand lift. Alex is just covering the fleet in 106 and he's now tacked into port. David's tacked and is comfortably in 4th place, I would say, at the moment. Might even get to 3rd. He's just got to watch it. The two people behind him have tacked up. Paolo's very conveniently tacked to leeward of David. So that just shows how things can change. So he's gone from 7th to 3rd on one wind shift. But now he's got to be really careful because the boats inshore are picking up a bit more of a lift. But I think he's safe. I think Paolo's in a nice position. We'll see what happens. Alex Scapens is just getting more of a lift. Climbing, climbing, climbing. Now he tacks for the finishing line. So he's going to win. Tonko's going to be 2nd. And I think, to see how David gets on with Josh King. Tack now, David. There he goes. Yeah, Josh King's going to get ahead of him. I think that's Josh, judging by the colour. Yeah, that's Josh King, the dark blue boat just ahead of the green boat. So Alex will wait for the whistle. Alex has crossed now. Couldn't hear the whistle in the wind. Tonko's 2nd. I think that's Tonko. Josh King is 3rd. Dave Lindsay 4th. I think that's Paolo Capo just... Yeah, that was Paolo. Then it was Elio Cavallio. So I think those are our top 6. So they get to race again in Heat B. So getting towards the top. So we'll see you for the next heat. And the boats are getting ready to launch. Right, just go down at the heat board. Well, welcome back. This is Heat A. This is where the big points count, and all the main players are involved. It reads like, the list reads like a who's who of the IOM world. 50. Wind has eased considerably, and there's one boat, Australia 37, and he's got an A-rig, and that's Aaron Farrer. So this is quite a risky strategy because everybody's on B, but the wind has died. However, there is some breeze right at the top of the reservoir, so my suspicion is he's going to struggle, but you never know. It could be a race-winning move. Lots of boat vying for position at the port end. I think it looks too biased to starboard to risk being a port end start. This looks like it's going to be a general recall. Yep. Very hasty. Time for a little time for a little refreshment. So the fleet just sailing away to see what the lie of the land looks like.
1 minute 40.
And the bad news for the A-rig is there's a lot of breeze coming down the lake, and there's another cloud on the horizon. So I think we can expect some wind for this race.
1 minute 20.
Yep, 37's already struggling for control.
1 minute 10.
So there's a little more starboard bias on the start line now, so I expect we'll see people at the far end of the start line. They're already lining up, and as I said earlier, it's really hard to hold the boat on the line when you're bouncing up and down so much. Zonko taking a position to leeward, which keeps him clear of the other boats. There's a real bunch of boats up at the windward end.
30.
So everybody's sitting there waiting. The wind's gone right a bit. No flags up to indicate I flag or anything else. Fleet are holding back nicely. Graham Elliott just keeping his nose out, as is Olivier Cohen, and it's got to be a clear start. So Zonko at the leeward end. I'd say he's in real trouble down there, but we'll see how it works out. Mark Gollison is up at the windward end. Pete Stollery's gone for the windward end, because the challenge the boats have at the left hand side is they've got to tack, and they'll never get off the shore cleanly. So 121 is Mr. Beltree, then Olivier Cohen tacking, and they're going to have to cross behind several of the starboard boats. Everybody's tacked now, so anyone with a clear lane is going to be looking good. So going out on port, very hard to see who's doing what. There's no real lift on the left hand side, but there is a little puff coming down, a band of breeze about 50 yards wide, and that there are the first signs of a left hand lift. The three boats to windward are gradually creeping up, and the boats out in the reservoir are not really getting that lift. So this is going to be interesting. The boats to the left are almost laying the windward mark. There's another one of those puffs coming down. The patchwork quilt, a mobile patchwork quilt on Datchet, That's gone through already, so there must have been quite a bit of wind in that. The A rig is leaning over on its side, and I think he's struggling to control that, and I think he's gonna really regret this decision when he goes downwind. So coming up to the windward mark, first boat round is trying to avoid starboard boats. First boat round is Rob Walsh, and then it's Romain, I think, on 77. Yeah, Romain Dubray. 33 and 48. I think that's Paul Jones of Australia in 48. 33 is Robert Matulja. Then 117 is Guglielmo Beltri, I think it is. Sorry, 117 is Brian Shaw's of the USA. So let's see how things shape up as they come down, and we can actually see the numbers clearly. So Robert is out in wind. Then Romain Dubray is in the centre between the two. So Rob Walsh on the inside here in 25. And then behind him is 48, which is, just to remind myself, I think that's Paul Jones of Australia. So always one to bet on. But Rob Walsh seems to have control of things now. Behind him, out in the middle, I think that's Brian Shaw's in 112, and they're all three of them have gone left. Gone right rather. Brian Shaw's is going right. Olivier Cohen's gone left. So we have a competitor in the camera microphone area. Let's just hope he doesn't walk into us. So the Rob Walsh came in. Is he going to cross the starboard boats? He's got a nice lift. Lifting. He's got a yellow boat. Is he going to cross? Yes, he is, by about 6 feet. So there's a gaggle of boats right inshore. Camera may be being blocked, but we're not going to move him because it's competitor concentrating. So Rob Walsh tacking back onto starboard, coming up the middle of the course. I think that's Lunanin Cheng just behind him in number 12, so she's doing well. 48, Paul Jones has come inshore and got a nice lift, and I think he's just going to pass. He's going to have to bear off behind Rob Walsh, but he's looking good. Olivier Cohen is looking good, and amazingly Zonko's come flying back into the pack. So we've got to see how these left-hand boats get on with the right-hand boats out in the middle of the reservoir. Sorry if the camera was blocked there, but that was Ante coming into our little area. Oh, Pete Stollery had a port and starboard there. Now done his turn and on he goes. Let's hope he gets a massive left-hand shift. That might have taken him out of a decent result on this. Let's hope the weather gods are kind. USA 55 is a little behind, so he's going right into the shore to see if he gets a bit of luck with a left-hand shift, but it's not looking good for him at the moment. He's heading out. He's got a bit of a header on port. Well, having said that, He's now got a bit of a lift, but there are an awful lot of boats out in the middle coming in fast on starboard. So I think Mark's probably out of it. So Rob Walsh is sailing up the middle on port. He's now tacked to the windward mark, and I think he's dropped a place. Zonko looks as though he's up to third. Yeah, I think Zonko's up to third or fourth. We'll see how they round the mark. Depends if they're laying the mark or not. So Rob's laying the mark. Paul Jones is round first. Rob Walsh second. Zonko third. Romain Debray fourth. And 11 Swiss. That's my friend 11 Matteo Longhi. And then we have 33 from Croatia, Robert Matulja, and then we'll watch them come down and see who's the best at surfing the Datchet waves. Actually, Rob Walsh has stormed away. That's extraordinary. He's just... So he was second round the windward mark. Wow. There he goes. So Rob Walsh clearly in the lead. Zonko is nearly up to second. So he had a first in the last race and a second now, so he'll be shooting up the leaderboard. Where is Lunanin Cheng? Oh, there she is. Okay, so here they go in a line away to port. We have two coming around on starboard.
Boat one. Can't see his number.
So Rob Walsh covering Zonko, and Romain is going out into the reservoir. Sorry, number 11. Swiss, that's Matteo Longhi. And 33 has tacked. So that's Robert. And Romain to leeward in 73. So there seems to be a bit of a righty at the moment. And the windsock out in the middle suggests a righty. So that's not good for Zonko and Robert. Just a question, there's another band of breeze coming down. It's whether that's going to go left or right. If it goes left, Rob Walsh and Zonko are looking good. If it goes right, then they could lose one or two places. Zonko's tacked. Rob Walsh has tacked. Rob Walsh in the yellow boat, Zonko in the green one with the bright orange patch. And in fact, I think they've lost significantly. So they've gone from first and second to third. Rob's probably third now, and I think the wind's going to go left. So Zonko may have gone the right way. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, the wind's gone left, so Rob Walsh has gone out to the right, and now it's big left, and amazingly Zonko's on the left to exploit that. That may get him back up into the top three. Let's see, so coming across on starboard is Matteo Longhi. So Matteo Longhi I think he's won. I heard the whistle. Rob Walsh comes in second, or he may have won. Very close between those two. Zonko's going to end up third, fourth, fifth. Very difficult to see, with a sudden injection of breeze right on the finish. So very, very close finish there, with nigh on, must be 8 or 9 boats, all vying for the promotion spot. Well, no promotion in this event, but all vying for a top 10 finish. So that's it. We move back to E-Heat in a couple of minutes.